all, and welcome to tonight's review, which I am dubbing the In Search of Lost Time review. And why am I dubbing it In Search of Lost Time review? Because I am in search of lost time. For those who don't know, that is the name of Marcel Proust's novel, the 4,000-page novel, in which he pretty much discusses, well, it's all about memory. And there's this famous passage in which the narrator is having lemon tea and madeleines, and he smells the lemon tea and madeleines and tastes it, and a flood of memories returns. And that's what happened to me with this beer. And you might be thinking, well, why in how in God's name does something like that happen? Well, we'll soon find out. So, what beer is this? This is the final beer I will be reviewing from the Samuel Adams box set. This is Fresh as Hell's, obviously a Hell's lager, with orange blossom. This is 5.4 ABV and only 18 IBUs. So, should be nice and refreshing, you'd think. And it might be for most people, but you'll see why this is something of a special beer for me. And as soon as you open it, you're hit with smells of orange blossoms. Giving it a nice vigorous pour here because I want that head. Bit dark for Hell's. Yellow with orange overtones. Nicely carbonated. Clear, with a fizzy to frothy white head that is absolutely redolent of orange blossoms and other floral aspects. Very bright floral, almost perfumey. And when I first smelt it, what immediately I remembered was my late grandmother's perfume, which is something I hadn't smelled or even thought of in over 10 years. And it was kind of amazing how it, brought back all these different memories, which I'm not going to recount here because, I probably talk too much about my personal life here anyway. But it is amazing that this beer brought it back. And so, it's very intense smelling. To get back to the beer, it is very intense smelling. From that base of orange blossom, all these florals come out. It's kind of covering up. You don't really smell much malt there. You smell some sweetness, but this almost maybe the sweetness of the florals as well. Maybe just a hint of graininess. But very bright, floral, perfumey, orange notes like standing underneath a blooming orange tree. Light on the palate. In the front, you definitely get a sense of the malts. While the nose is kind of sweet, the body for this is, it's still within Hell's lager tolerances, so it's still somewhat sweet, but it's on the dry side for the style. Biscuity, almost biscuity malts. Some bittering hops, and then this long, lingering, aromatic floral aspect on the palate that lasts. Almost some vegetal aspects in the mid palate. In the front, just an initial bite of carbonation. But what is, some people might find in this, I would think that this beer would be fairly polarizing for a lot of people because they would find it too perfumey or too soapy. You know, it is so dominated by that floral orange blossom top note that it pervades every aspect of the beer. Now, there's that nice contrast in between how sweet it smells in the nose and how relatively dry it is on the palate, but it is pretty much all revolving around that orange blossom sort of aspect. And the Helles Lager is kind of providing a rather neutral palette for it to be painted on. A good neutral palette, as a, you know, is still definitely a beer. It's not like that Ben & Jerry's beer that I reviewed back, you know, a while back that had, you know, it tasted of that chocolate chip cookie dough, but didn't taste really a beer. This is still clearly a Helles Lager that I am drinking, but it is one that is fairly suppressed by that addition of orange blossoms. As it warms up, malts and hops, you know, the Helles Lager aspect kind of expands a little bit. That biscuity breadiness begins to linger on the palate. It doesn't quite clear all the way. Some spiciness to the hops too, but mostly perceived very quickly in the finish. Just that lingering orange floral note in the mouth, though. No, I like this beer, not because, you know, if it didn't have, I'm going to be quite frank with you, if it didn't have that sort of immediate trigger of memory in my mind, it would be one that I would say, ooh, kind of have a heavy hand on the adjuncts there, you know what I mean? But as this one is, you know, such a trigger for me, well, I'm kind of sad that this is going to be the only time that I'm going to drink it. This sounds like the one that is getting the least favorite reviews out of the spring box set, and it's only been brewed once, so this is probably my final bottle. Which is kind of sad, but such are the vicissitudes of life, as I like to tell myself. So, just those orange blossoms, though. If you like orange blossoms, though, you probably really like this. Well, unless, you know, you find the idea of drinking orange blossoms kind of weird. Samuel Adams Fresh as Helles. This is the final one I'll be reviewing from the spring box set. I'm kind of glad it was the final one because it is, you know, by complete coincidence, it brought back such personal memories to me, which had nothing to do with beer, just memories of my childhood. I'm going to enjoy drinking the last of this, and you know, maybe if it's still in the store, I might even get another box set. You know what I mean? It's a beer review for tonight, folks. Cheers.